on, everybody? I wanted to talk today in this video about this observation that I've seen people make quite a bit, which is that influencers make more money these days than doctors and teachers and people who, like professional athletes, or people who have these jobs that are sort of what society deems as potentially unnecessary. These people are making more money and killing it more and kind of accruing more power than people in society who have jobs that society seems to deem as more necessary, such as like a doctor or a teacher or a lawyer. And people observe this phenomenon with quite a bit of disgust, I suppose. But I wanted to talk about why I believe this is the case and why influencers are making more money than teachers and doctors and teachers, which is basically that it all comes down to how many people you can touch, how many people you can reach, and what the market is calling for. And in this day and age, everybody is on their phones 24/7. Everybody is hungry for content. Everybody is consuming nonstop content, whether they are waking up in the morning, whether they're on the way to work, whether they're getting back from work, whether they are eating lunch or dinner or breakfast, whether they're winding down for the night, whether they're falling asleep to content. People are endlessly consuming content. And we live in this kind of new world now where the internet has opened up sort of a non-conventional way to reach people that just wasn't a thing before. Before, you'd have to kind of do things like in person or over the phone, and you'd do things with like a small set of people at a time, and it really wasn't in the average person's ability to be able to reach a mass amount of people that easily. If you were going to do that, you'd really have to have like accrued some fame or become like some kind of superstar, some kind of like television host or something. It was a much harder thing to do to be able to reach massive amounts of people. But now anybody can use their smartphone and record videos and upload it to the internet and upload it to like YouTube or Instagram or something like that, and they can reach massive amounts of people. And it really just comes down to like a leverage thing. Like if you were like an online teacher, or if you were like an online doctor and you were good at getting your stuff out there, you would still be killing it. You would still be making a lot of money. But what's happening is that doctors and teachers, they're really only reaching a small limited number of people. If you're a teacher, you have a certain amount of people in your class every day. Maybe it's like you have like 6 classes with 20 people each, and it's like, all right, you're interfacing with like 120 people a day. Or you're a doctor and you see like, I don't really know what the average for a doctor is, but maybe like 15 to like 20 patients a day or something like that, right? You are just simply not creating the volume that people online are able to create through social media. And yeah, people are just so hungry for content these days. Like people are consuming this stuff nonstop, and it's just basically supply and demand at the end of the day. People are desiring a certain product, and the influencers are the ones who are providing that product, whether it's like these girls on Instagram that are just shaking their booties everywhere, whether it is like the people on YouTube who are talking to people about like life issues or whatever it is. People are hungry for content, and people are providing that for them. And it's like you can kind of either hate the game or you can hate the player, but the game is what it is, and this is just what's happening. And instead of like railing against it, and instead of just wanting to change the world, I think people need to be able to adapt and kind of understand what's going on and see that things are changing and some opportunities are popping up and some old ways are dying out. And I guess another avenue to all this that I want to speak about is this whole like AI revolution thing that's going on, where people are starting to see how many jobs it's possible for AI to take over. And a lot of conventional jobs, I think, even doctors and teachers, are going to start to be affected by AI and automation. And you go to like McDonald's or something, and you're starting to see that people just don't want to be there. People don't want to be doing these jobs anymore, and they're going to become automated. And it's going to be like the low-hanging fruit at first. It's going to be the jobs that are simple to be automated will be the ones that are taken first. And then as AI progresses and it becomes more sophisticated, it's going to be able to take over the more difficult jobs. And as it moves into the physical realm more through like the robots and the humanoid robots and things like that, I think it's going to really start to take over tons and tons of stuff. And these sort of jobs that people do where they're not really integrating their personality into it at all, they're just sort of doing a job that a robot could potentially do. Eventually the robots will come and they will take these jobs, and the AI will come and they will take these jobs. And so I think what you're seeing with social media and the rise of like social media content creation and influencers is that at the end of the day, the one job that will not be able to be automated, or the one job that robots are not going to be able to take over, is a human being themselves and sharing their knowledge and sharing their personality and kind of sharing their like vibe, I guess you want to call it, with the world. So in a way, I know it's going to be like triggering to hear this, but I do think like in the future, starting a personal brand and being some sort of like influencer, or sharing your own kind of God-given personality and gifts, I almost believe that in the future that's going to be like the last remaining job. Like that may actually have better job security than what a lot of people are giving it credit for, because over the last several years we've really been transitioning heavily into this new sort of society where people are so wrapped up in consuming content and so interested, honestly, in like what other people are doing with their lives. And yeah, I think instead of like running away from that and talking down on that and being scared of that, it's like you should just probably see it for what it is and understand it and figure out how you can leverage it to your own benefit, and try to be the most interesting person that you can be, and try to really dive into your passions as much as possible and potentially share them with the world in a way that benefits you and benefits other people. So yeah, this is why doctors and lawyers and teachers and hurricane relief, whatever people, this is why they're making less than influencers. So yeah, take care.